Hello everyone. It is Jackie with Pocket of Preschool, and I'm coming to you live to talk all about an Easter theme in your classroom. So what I'm gonna do is walk around my classroom and I'm gonna show you all the activities we did for our Easter theme, because we did Easter this week because next week we are on spring break. So we're doing Easter. We did it this week and we just did it for 1 week, and that was it. But why don't you, in the comments, why don't you tell me if you are allowed to do holiday themes in your classroom? Because when I taught full day in a public school, we were not allowed to touch holidays at all. Couldn't talk about it, couldn't do the themes, nothing. And so just put it in the comments, because I'm just curious how many teachers can and how many teachers can't do holiday themes. And a lot of these ideas, if you can't do an Easter theme, they will work for spring. You can just do it bunnies and eggs, like with chickens or farm or something. So even if you can't do Easter, you can still do a lot of these activities, just maybe with a spring or a farm theme. All right, so I'm gonna flip this around and we're gonna get started. So this morning for table time, my kiddos came in and I had this set up, but I actually had like a tablecloth over it. I actually use those plastic tablecloths are like $1. If I ever have something fun, I don't want them to get into it when I get to school, or when they, during arrival or whatever, I just cover it with a plastic tablecloth, and if it gets all yucky, I can just pitch it. So what we did was, we do kind of 2 morning table times. They do one as their parents are coming in, and another one for like 10 minutes. So this was the second one we did. So what it was in these eggs, I have letter beads. And I know everybody knows like high letters and eggs. Well, I took it a step further and I added these dry erase pockets and letter beads. So they would have to pick the letter, They would pick the letter, and then they would lace it, and then they would write it. So that way I'm getting fine motor in, and I'm getting some handwriting in, but in a super, super fun way. And these dry erase pockets are awesome. I actually ordered this set because I had another set and I needed just more. I'll put the link in. They're on Amazon, but these are just like literally, like, you can tell this is actually what came in it. It's just like a plain a pocket, and you can put like worksheets in it, and then that way they can trace it, or you can just put, like this one just has a piece of paper in it, and I flipped it over so that you can use it kind of like a dry erase board, and it's a lot cheaper than a dry erase board. They're really fun for dramatic play too. And then I have these baskets on the end because they can toss the empty eggs in as they're cleaning me out with all the eggs in the middle. So yeah, where did I get those letter beads? I got them on Amazon, and I will put a link into those too, because we use these all the time. I will say if I do this again, I would probably do different beads, because these, I still have a couple 3-year-olds. I have some summer birthdays, and they got a little frustrated threading these on a pipe cleaner, because, let me see, I can show you. Well, they're a little bit, the holes are kind of tiny. So I would just use like a bigger alphabet bead if I would do this again. Like I have these letter beads that I'd probably use again. They're just like more of a block, and the hole's bigger. I'd probably use those with my 3-year-olds. That way they didn't get frustrated, but they did ask for help. So I was just helping them out, which is totally fine. But that way there was, they could do it independently, because I'm all about independence. Alrighty, so that's what we did for morning table time. Just kind of a fun twist on letters and eggs. I'm gonna show you, let's go to blocks first today. I know I always start different places. So over here, and you guys look, it's still light out. Like, oh, I'm so excited all this spring is coming, even though it's like so 40 degrees during recess. But that's okay, it's coming. So in the block center, I have on the wall, I have my STEM I Can Build packs, and this is in the spring pack, it has the Easter theme, so that way it just gives them an idea of different things they can do besides a house every day or a garage or whatever with a car. So that way, when they're building new and different things every day and using different materials, like you can see I have just fake leaves, which they're loving. And then, okay, that's a chick, and I don't know where the head is. These are just like those chick eggs from the dollar store. And then in this one I have carrots, and then I just have a big thing of plastic eggs. And then these are just bunnies from the dollar store. These are like tree logs from Discount School Supply. They're in the craft section. They're awesome. But that way they're building and engineering different things every time. And they're thinking in different ways. So they're not building the same thing over and over. They're extending their thinking. And like always, my kiddos ask me now, do you want me to keep this one up for your video? It's so cute. So this little guy built a Easter bunny house. And if you look inside, there's a whole bunch of Easter bunnies with their carrots. He said it's the Easter bunny family. So, and then these mats are just, they're foam board. I got like a textured one like a long time ago, but these are just foam. Where did I get the yellow and orange bins? Those bins are all the colored ones are Dollar Tree. Love me some Dollar Tree. Is the Easter things in the STEM set. I actually, in the top of this post, if you go up to the top, there's a link to all the Easter things in my store, and they're in that pack, the spring STEM I can build. So yeah, so that's blocks, which is super fun. And then let's do the math center. So we did our fish, and they are still going over here observing. So I haven't changed it yet. I will change it next week, and we'll do spring after spring break, because hopefully it'll be warm. So I didn't change the science center yet because they're still interested in it and they're still using it, so I'm not going to change it. Everybody does the number eggs, and then these I think I got like in some dollar bin or something with like some decorative eggs. And then so they count, because we know we all have like a gazillion mini erasers, so have them count out the number of mini erasers, put it inside the egg, and then have them match the egg. So that way they're doing lots and lots of counting, lots of fine motor, and that way even if they don't know their numerals, they can at least match the eggs. And those are just stickers in the bottom. If you don't have these, I don't even know where I got them. You know how us early childhood people hoard everything? Just use regular cardboard egg cartons. Those will work too. Okay, and I also put out my math scale, and here's another fun idea for mini erasers. I really need to do a blog post on all the things we can do with mini erasers. So I have these little counters. They're like spring counters. I got them, I think, from like a Scholastic. You know, they have those like counting packs with like pattern cards. But I have them with counters, so they can put in a counter and they can see, sorry, back it up. They can see how many it takes to be equal, or how many it takes until the Easters weigh more. They can put more in. Oh gosh. And see how many erasers it takes to make it equal, or they can do different, they can measure these to see if all these counters weigh the same thing, because there's different ones in here. So try putting your mini erasers out with some counters with your scale, and they can compare weights with them. So that's a really fun idea for mini erasers, because you know, if you're like me, you have a bazillion of them. So. And then, of course, we have our counting stew, right? So for those of you who don't know, counting stews are so fun. And I'm working on getting a video of each level of kiddos doing the counting stew. So I'm going to try and get like a 3-year-old doing it, and then a 4-year-old doing it, and then a 5-year-old doing it, and maybe even like since my kiddo's in kinder, I can probably have him do the addition mats with it too. So I am working on getting that done. But you know how it goes. We're busy in preschool. So what happens is they pick a card, and then they just count out each thing. So they would count out 6 pieces of grass, 3 bunnies, and 9 carrots, put it in their bowl, and then there's a song that goes with it, and then they stir it, and then they put it back in. So they're sorting as they're putting it back in. And these are super fun. These are in my stew pack. And they do give you ideas on different ways to make the different things, so you don't have to go out and buy everything. Like this one, I just cut up some felt for the grass. And these are just sprinkles I had. You can also like cut those out of felt. I know I saw some people like found some like in the floral section for the peeps. So, but yeah, those are super, super fun. What's the song? The song is in the stew pack, and it's to the tune of Purple Stew. Go on YouTube and search Purple Stew, Go Noodle, and it'll be there, because I am the world's worst singer. Okay, so those are the stews, and I just literally have those out. This is my science and math center. I call it Discovery. I have it all lumped into one, and I just have it on the table out this week. Sometimes I put it on the shelf, like right where that hole is, but if they need more room. But I just had it out this week, and they've been playing it like crazy. They literally go over there and play it independently. So super fun. Here's my sensory table, and y'all are gonna think I'm nuts because it makes a hot mess. But my kiddos love to cut, especially my 4-year-old and my 3-year-old. So I have a bucket with scissors, and they can just cut up the Easter grass. Now, it does make a ginormous mess. Ginormous. Especially because it goes out of the table, but that's okay. They can also, I have these handy scoopers, which they're practicing scissor skills when they use these, and they can, there's little peeps, little like furry peeps in there. They can get out, they can try and get the eggs, and I also have plastic eggs, so they can put the little eggs inside the big eggs, and they have, these are just from the dollar store, so they can just put those inside, because you know they love those surprise egg YouTube videos, so they've been saying, like, pretending to make surprise eggs in here. But one thing, I love spring for another reason, because my kiddos are so much more independent. They literally made a hot mess today, and I should have taken a picture of it, but they clean it up all by themselves. I just have a little bucket under here with some dustpans from the Dollar Tree, and I still had to go back around and clean up a little bit, but you can tell there's still some spots I missed. I haven't swept yet today. So yeah, these are just from the dollar store, and they clean it up themselves, and it's awesome. And I have a couple kiddos who love cleaning like this year. It's awesome. And because once they start cleaning, then the other kids start cleaning, and they don't think it's as horrible. So it's really fun. Yes, so I do. Krista says, do I run my stations like centers? Yeah. Stations are exactly just like centers. I think they're pretty interchangeable. Yes. Jessica, thank you. The handy scoopers are on Amazon. Okay. So this is a freebie on my blog. I know we do a lot with 5 senses in preschool and in kinder, but this is a freebie on my blog, so it comes with a couple worksheets if you want to do that, a super simple one, and then a higher level one if you're kinder. And then all you do is you give everybody some peeps, and then you talk about how it looks, how it smells, how it feels, how they sound when you eat them, and how it tastes. So that's really, really fun, because peeps actually do make, they make a little bit of a sound when you eat them, which is super fun. And then for your kiddos who are still working on those shapes, I just have some shape puzzles, and all these are in my Easter Centers pack. And I will say, if you have kiddos who already know their shapes and you're doing a shape activity, talk about the characteristics. Be like, oh, I noticed this diamond or rhombus, whatever you call it, has 1, 2, 3, 4 points or vertices, whatever you want to call it, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4 straight sides. So just make your questions a little bit trickier, and that way everyone is learning at a higher level rather than just naming their shapes if they already know that. And I just have a big bag of eggs here because you can sort eggs like crazy. So like you can sort like big, little, and small. You can do them. Do they have a crack going down long ways, or do they have a crack going through the middle? There's a shape one in there. Are they different shapes? So you can sort eggs so many ways. So just put out some eggs, have them help you put them together, and then, which is a great fine motor. And yeah, just sort them. They're super fun. Another fun game in my center pack is this jelly bean roll and add or roll and count. So you can either use a color dice, and they can roll, and they can get that color dot marker and dot it for those like little 3s. You can have a dice with 1, 2, or 3. Or you can use a dice up to 6, or you can even take it to a higher level for your kinders and your older pre-Ks, and they can roll 2 dice. 4 plus 4 is 8, and then, or they can count it, whatever they need to do. And then another fun thing to do with this, if you're allowed to do food, is copy these on colored paper and then laminate them and use real jelly beans. So fun. Yeah. Oh, Sarah says she likes that I use the word rhombus and vertices. She's a, because her math coach said it's always good to use the correct words. And yes, I love me some math. So yeah, but yeah. Yeah, don't be afraid to use those big words. If they can say Tyrannosaurus Rex and some of these crazy words they say, they can absolutely say vertices. All right, so they were asking, like, are we gonna have a special snack for Easter? And I was like, well, what do you want to have? And they're like, well, let's vote on it. So during snack one day, we impromptu made a chart. So they said should we bake? Because we're gonna actually bake them. So do they want to bake cupcakes, cookies, or do they want to do pancakes? Because we've actually made those 3 things this year. And this is the cupcake my little friend drew, and one friend drew cookies and one drew pancakes. And then we went around the snack table and they voted on cupcakes. And I have a friend who's allergic to gluten, so we're gonna make some gluten-free cupcakes for our Easter snack. So that'll be fun. So take those opportunities that come up in the day, or just for different things you're gonna do. Make graphs, have them help you make the graphs, and it's just a fun way to just show them how you use math every day, all the time. Here's another math game we did. I did this one for small group on Monday, and I have 2 tables. So I have this table right here, and I have this table right here. And what I did is on this table, I put the baskets out 1 through 6. And then on this table, I put the basket cards out 7 through 15, I think it goes up to. And then I gave them the eggs, and I had my little guys match the numbers 1 through 6. And then I had my older kiddos, my pre-K kiddos, because I have a multi-age class, work on the higher numbers, so that way everybody's doing the same activity but at different levels. So if you have a pre-K, if you have a preschool class or a kinder class or whatever multi-age class like me, just think about different ways you can differentiate. That way everybody's learning at their own level and they're not getting frustrated and they're not bored. So you're kind of in that sweet spot. All right, so let's go over to art. So this is why I have a peep missing. This is actually going to be our art activity for Friday. We're going to make patterns with peeps. And I just made some really quick tonight just to kind of show you. But I will say, if you're going to do peeps, like you can tell this one's like super squishy. Just what I'll do is I'll just put some out the night before or the day before you leave. And that way they get a little bit hard, so they're not so squishy and they don't have that like stringy marshmallow goodness on them. And then they'll be easier to stamp. Especially if you have friends who do not like sticky hands and things like that. Just leave them out the night before. I actually love using marshmallows for math. I have a video on my Facebook page about all the different things you can do with marshmallows and paint for math. So check that out if you want some more marshmallowy activity. All right, so back to the plastic eggs. I love using scrapbook paper sometimes for them to do printmaking on. You can get some cheap at Michael's sometimes. They have that big pack for like $4 or something. And then they can stamp the Easter eggs in the different color paints. And you can use different sizes. And when they're stamping, they're using those finger muscles. So they're developing all those fine motor muscles as they stamp, especially if you use the little ones. So that'll really help with that pencil grasp if you do some egg stamping, and they turn out super, super cute. So I know some people have toddlers in here. So again, I made this with my own kiddos when they were littler, and I just took some scrapbook paper. Like I said, I love scrapbook paper. I buy it on clearance at Michael's. And then I cut it in an egg, and I just let them peel foam stickers and put them on. Like, nothing super fancy, but it's super cute, and it was great fine motor work for them. And I know if you don't like if you have enough foam stickers for this year, head to Michael's or Target or whatever, like the day after the holiday, and grab some of this stuff the day after the holiday at half off. That way you have it for next year. It's a nice, easy way to save on some of those things that you use up and you have to repurchase. So if you want to do a fun take on marble painting, we actually did this today. You can kind of see them over there. Everybody did one. They like loved this. So I just cut out some. Y'all, I'm not the best oval cutter. But I just cut some ovals out of white paper, and then they put it in. And instead of using marbles, we use these like little balls. They're from the Target dollar section, and I had them in cups of paint, and then they would just, oh, they're a little wet, so I'm just gonna put those in like that. They just put them in, and then they would roll them. So it's great shoulder. It's great shoulder work, and you have to have strong shoulders and a strong core if you want to have strong hands. So you got to work on those big muscles first, get those strong, and then get those little muscles strong. So marble painting in a box is really, really good for that to develop that shoulder strength. So here's what it turned out like when we use the little balls. And these are from the Target dollar spot. You can tell who was in there. And then if you want to do something a little bit different, or maybe the next day you want to change it up. So these are just plastic eggs, and I don't know if you can hear it. There's 2 marbles inside. So they could take the same paper and then drop in the eggs, and then they can do egg rolling instead of, it's just like a fun twist on marble painting. Y'all, I love plastic eggs. They're so fun. Here's some that I did. I always do one like as an example sometimes, and then I'll keep that one and put it in my theme box, just so I can remember what we did, and especially if it goes good. I just put it in my theme box, and then I use it the next year. So here's what they turn out like if you use the little plastic egg, but just make sure you put the marbles in them, so that way they're weighted down, so that way they roll better. Otherwise, they don't really, they'll get stuck in the paint, and they'll just sit in one spot. So yeah, so what I do is I usually have just like, I'll have a cup. So in each one of these I'll have in a cup, and then they just take it out with a spoon, and so it would have the paint on it, and they put it in. Somebody said they did, they put bouncy balls into the plastic eggs. That would weigh it down too. So anything you can do just to weigh it down. We don't let them bouncing out or getting stuck in the paint. And then of course, y'all know, like, I made a Play-Doh tray, and I don't know if they're getting bored with them, which they probably are. Well, my pre-K kiddos, I would say, might be getting bored with them. But I have a multi-age class, so my 3-year-olds play with them all the time still, so I usually make one for every theme. And I have some pea pads, and then I have Easter eggs, so they can put the Play-Doh inside the egg. They can stamp it, whatever they want. And then these are just some egg cookie cutters I got one year on clearance. That's why they're like the fancy ones. And then I just put out some pretty beads so they can stick it in. And then once they stick it in, they actually have to pull it out too, which is, look at that. Look at all that pincer grass work. So yeah, great fine motor. And I've been just cheating this year and totally buying store-bought Play-Doh. Hee hee. All right, so let's go to my library center. So here, I'll give you guys the backup view. Here is the library center. Da 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 da. And then here's my circle. I got a new rug, you guys. My other one was shedding, and it was a pain in the booty to clean up. So I got a new rug, and they were sitting in the back corner. So I got a smaller rug because I only have 8 kiddos a day in my half-day class. So I got a smaller rug, and I'm actually going to put the grid on it. I got it by tape. So, but yeah. So here's my bookshelf. And like I said, this is the first year I've gotten to do Easter with my class. I wasn't able to do Easter, so I didn't have that many Easter books. Nope, sure didn't. So I pulled out some books about eggs, and I pulled out some books about flowers and gardens, because we have a garden shop in Pretend, so I'll show you that in a minute. So here's the writing table. And I found these stampers in the Target dollar spot. So they've been loving these. And then I just have out some stickers. And then I have foam stickers. And then I have my trash bucket. Gotta have a trash bucket. And then I just have some Easter paper and some Easter words out. And I do have the lowercase down here for my older pre-K friends. And then I have the uppercase up there for my older kiddos. I had a pre-K little lady go to the writing center today. She was there almost the entire time, and she made she made a card, like picture thing for everyone in her family, and it was awesome. It had all kinds of writing on it. It was amazing. So I just love changing up the writing center just to keep it nice and fresh. So this is this Peep letter and sound match is in my Easter printables. I just took this whiteboard, which is from Lakeshore, and I just put one of those dollar spot pockets on it, just so sometimes you got to get things vertical so they can see it, just to make it more exciting, and they just match them up. And I'm actually using this as a transition activity too. So after music, we have snack. So rather than just having everybody go at once, I call everybody up one at a time. They put the card in, and then they bounce like a bunny all the way to wash their hands, which is great for a couple reasons. One, I'm sneaking in some letter work, and I can give them either a sound card if they're a pre-K, or I can give them a letter if they're a 3-year-old. And then they're bouncing like a bunny, so they're getting some energy out, working on those gross motor skills, and there's not a ginormous line in the bathroom. So it's great for so many reasons. And again, more plastic eggs. So these just have the bigger letter beads with letter eggs. So I wrote the letter eggs on these. And then I have an uppercase, and then the lowercase is on the bottom. And then I just have a bead so I can put them inside or just match. And I know a lot of people do this activity, but when you do this, if you have preschool or pre-K, I wouldn't put out the whole alphabet. Just put out some of them. That way it doesn't overwhelm them, and it's an activity they can do independently. All right, so in this tray, I have some Easter egg letters, and then I have name cards. So they just pull out a name, and then we're just gonna pretend this says Austin. Well, there's an A. So they would just match up the letters to make their name. And then if you have kinder kiddos, you can do sight words with this and may have them make their sight words in there. So it's just a fun way to learn new words. I know some pre-K friends, or you guys are doing a lot with sight words right now. Since I'm half day, we're just not there yet, and that's okay. So we're just working on names and still working on sounds. But I'm hoping we can get to some sight words in maybe that last month or so. We're getting close, but I don't want to give it to them if they're not ready. I don't want to stress anybody out, and if they're not ready, it's just going to be hard and not worth it. And then I have my my writing trays. These trays are from lacing sets. You can either get them from Melissa and Doug, or sometimes they're in the dollar spot. And this is just sand, colored sand of glitter. Of course, y'all know, like if you would see my floor, there's glitter everywhere right now. And then I put in a ring, and they can you can tell this lady used it to literally make her letters. And look, when they're doing that, what are they doing? Using that pincer, developing that pincer grasp, or they can just put it on their writing finger. Y'all, you don't have to do things that are crazy exciting. Like putting a little thing like a ring in makes it super fun. And then these are just little sprinkles I added. And then they use the same letters from this activity, so that way I don't have to like cut up a bazillion. Oh, cute toenail color. Thanks. I really need a pedicure, so don't look at them too close. So they can either match the letters, they can just make uppercase letters, or they can do lowercase letters. And yes, it does get on the floor. I had two friends, we haven't had these out in a couple weeks, and they were just like pulling the sand and making it like a sensory experience. So you can tell we kind of have sand a little bit, but we got out some brooms and it wasn't a big deal. So, because we haven't had them out for about a month or so, and they got really excited when I brought them back out. And yes, the sand does get mixed up. Like there's blue sand in the purple, and there's purple sand in the blue. And actually the dollar store, this is from the dollar store, the purple and the blue. Sometimes the Dollar Tree has colored sand. So check that out because that's like awesome because colored sand is not cheap. Or you can dye salt too for these trays to make it a little bit cheaper on yourself because y'all know preschool is kind of, and kinder can be get expensive. And then this is just a rhyming egg mat that's in my Easter printables. And then here's a syllable game, and I just to make it a little bit more exciting, I just put each one in like a little basket. Yes, the sand trays were from the either the Target Dollar Spot and their lacing sets, or they're Melissa and Doug. Somebody says, do you ever have kids trying to eat sprinkles? I don't tell them they're sprinkles. I tell them they're sand, so they don't eat them. So they don't know they're sprinkles. Hee hee, my secret. So they just pick up the card, bunny, and they put it in. So it's just a fun way, a little bit more hands-on to do some syllable game. And these little baskets, I think were like $2 each at Target. I got them like this week. And then I know everybody's always asked for gross motor games. So here's what I'm doing for gross motor this week. So I made egg shakers. So we're, of course, using those this week. And it's just eggs, plastic eggs with washi tape and beans inside. And then for our other activity, they hold, so kind of like my take on spoon races, but they, we walk around the room kind of like a parade, and they have to, well, this one went in, so that wasn't a good example. But they have to like balance their egg on their cardboard tube. It's harder if you use big eggs. Maybe I'll have to use big eggs with this on Friday. But yeah, they have to balance it on their egg, and we kind of do a parade. That way everybody can do it all at once. So they're working on balancing, or you can do spoons, like kind of like an egg race, but just with spoons. Yeah, I'll just leave that one stuck in there. Look at that. Okay. And then a fun game to develop self-regulation is just grab a bunny and literally like play, have everybody sit in a circle and have them pass the bunny when the music's on. And then when the music stops, they have to stop. And then when the music starts, they have to pass the bunny, and when it stops. Like, you can have that person who, when it stops, if they have it, like, they can, like, stand up and, like, turn around or something. Like, it doesn't have to be anything exciting, but anytime where you do start and stop with kiddos, it helps develop that self-regulation of, like, if I'm doing something bad, I need to stop myself, or if I'm making a red choice, I need to stop. So you're just developing that stop and go. So yeah, if you have a big class, like when I had 18 kiddos, we would do pass the pumpkin for, what's it called? For like fall. But just put 2 bunnies in the circle, and they can so there'll be 2 bunnies going around. So then that way everybody gets a turn a little bit quicker, and they don't get so, like not bored, but they don't have to wait so long, to get the bunny. So yeah, that's really fun. Just have them pass the bunny. It's really, especially if you get a really soft one. I think I got this one at on clearance, I'm sure, 1 year after the holiday. So I'm trying to think, the flower shop, and then that's it. There's a lot tonight, but at the same time there's not. So we are doing a garden shop. So we are just doing the flower shop side, because when we come back from spring break, I will add the garden stuff. So if you want a tour of this, click the top link in this post, and there's a link to a tour of the whole garden shop. But if you just want to do flower shop, you can totally make it look like this. We made a mural on Monday, so pretend it was closed on Monday, because I'm Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and they painted the mural, and then we opened it up on Wednesday. So they've been able to play in it 2 days, Monday and Wednesday. So we just have the flowers at the top and the vases, so they're sorting by color and they're counting. And the ribbons, y'all, I love this trick. I was so excited I thought of it. It's the little things, guys. I just put Velcro on the side, so that way they can, I'm trying to do it with one hand, guys. They can actually tie their bouquet up with a ribbon or put it around their vase. So yeah, just put some Velcro dots on your ribbon and they can tie it. And then we have our order forms and our cards with our different, what do you call it? we have the event cards and then the family cards. And check out this, I have a pre-K kiddo. She forgot to write her name on it, but it was for Austin, and then she drew a little picture on the inside. And that's so cute. So it's a fun way to get them writing during play, because if you order flowers, you gotta have a card. And then this is in those dry erase pockets, and they can just, you can tell they wrote some numbers on here. And then they're also talking about colors, because I've, two friends that still are working on a couple colors yet. So it's a fun way to get some colors in. And I know this will be a fun theme for those toddler classrooms, but maybe only have a lot less. But they could just have like maybe a couple of vases, maybe like, you know, 2 flowers in each bucket. Just have less things. And obviously they'll be scribbling on the order form, and that is okay. But yeah, it'd be really fun for like a older toddler class. And then the shelf is empty because I told them new exciting things are coming there after spring break. So yeah, and then the design center. So this little lady designed her bouquet, and she forgot to put her name on it, but it's just a fun way to get them drawing. And then if they're designing and engineering, they're doing some STEM and dramatic play. Oh, a little stool under there. The stool and the table are both from IKEA. This is just a lac. I think the table's like $10. It's like a lac coffee table. Super short for a coffee table, but yeah, it's a coffee table. Or an end table, sorry. And then those tables are the lac coffee tables that are in it. And they're like super cheap too. I love IKEA. And I think that's it. I'm gonna turn this around and talk to y'all for a minute, and then. So that is all the fun Easter things we are doing. So hopefully this will help you if you are doing an Easter theme. Tamara said she did a flower shop for Valentine's Day, so that's a really another fun one too. And if you do a Mother's Day theme, it would be fun to do flower shop for a Mother's Day theme too. I hope you guys got some ideas. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments real quick, and I will go back and answer those. And then let me think. Oh, and make sure you sign up for the newsletter, which is at the top of this post. All of my Easter printables that are in my TPT store are at the top of this post. The PEEP freebie, top of this post. And then the Facebook group, a link to that is at, guess where? The top of this post. So yeah, so make sure you check the top of this post before you move on for your night. So make sure you have everything you need. So have a super, super happy day, happy evening, have a great week, have a great weekend, and enjoy your kiddos. Give them a hug because they love you, and they just love you. So just hug them and love them, even if they're cuckoo a little bit crazy because it's spring. Just smile and breathe. All right, guys, have a fabulous night. Oh, Laurel says, do I offer free play? I'll answer this and then I'll let you guys go. I do. We have an hour every day of free center time. So I will put a link in this post to how that works in my classroom. So basically they pick a clip and they go pick where they want to play, and they can play whatever they want. There's never a have to. If there's a have to, we do it for small group. Unless like they haven't been here for a week or something and I need like an assessment. Then there would be like a small group time with me. But otherwise, yeah, they get free center choices. Sometimes I do pull kiddos for small group at that time. But other than that, yeah, they just get to pick whatever they want to play with, and they do. And it's really, really fun. So yeah. And you guys, I'll talk to you soon.